stream where we're going to actually bring it on Ryan now. So we are going to be selecting a barrel whiskey, 18-year Kentucky whiskey private release series. For anybody that isn't aware, you can go and you can check out on the Barrell website. They've got a whole list of things that they've been doing in regards of their private release series. And what it really is what we're breaking down here. It's an 18-year-old Kentucky whiskey, and it is in different cask finishes. It could be multiple finishes. It could be one single cask. It could be all kinds of things. And the one thing that we're holding back, as we had kind of talked about before we started here, is that I don't know what any of these are finished in until we get to the reveal. So once the reveal happens, that's when we'll let everybody know exactly what type of finish that we're going to be having with us tonight. So, yeah, Brian, you excited? You came in. I always said when we were starting up here, I said he shows up like 30 seconds before we start, or it's like 30 seconds after we start. It's one or the other.
Well, 2 minutes after today. I was trying to scroll through. I was like, what? I couldn't remember which one we were doing. I'm just looking at my box of samples, and I was like scrolling through my emails trying to figure out which one we were doing tonight. So,
well, I'm glad you figured it out.
I'm glad it's Barrell with 2 R's and 2 L's.
2 L's.
Or not 2 R's, but 2 L's.
It makes it easy to know.
Yeah.
So,
how's everybody doing?
I was about to say, let's go ahead and kind of kick this off and let everybody kind of introduce themselves. There's something that I think we're going to try to do something fun. We're getting ready to go into our next series, our next season of recording here for the podcast. And instead of, I think for the past 5 years, Ryan and I, we've always started the show saying like, oh, like, how'd you get into bourbon? Like, do you remember your first bottle and stuff like that? I think it's time we kind of change it up and just ask like a random icebreaker. So you all are going to be like, you guys are going to be like the pilot for it. Are you ready? We've done it a few times on the round table, but let's do this. So Brett, I'll start with you. Just go ahead and kind of let everybody know like where you're from. And then I think the random icebreaker we're going to have tonight is what's your go-to snack?
Okay. I'm Brett. I'm originally from Western Kentucky over in Hopkinsville, but been jumping around and been finally moved up to Louisville probably about 9 years ago. So I've been here ever since and really jumped into the deep end on bourbon, of course, moving up here. And then my go-to snack, I have a 2 and a 4-year-old, so it's whatever they have left laying around.
Goldfish.
Yeah, all the giant containers of goldfish.
I hear you on that. It's like half-eaten granola bars or whatever, bag of popcorn left over.
Yeah.
This much left of like the microwave mac and cheese.
Yep.
Jordan laughs, but Jordan's actually getting ready to experience this world here relatively soon. So Jordan, I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah. So my name is Jordan. Currently live in Northern Virginia. We moved here from Northern Kentucky where we were for a while. So I now went from living in bourbon Mecca to living in an ABC controlled state, which is super depressing. But I almost didn't make it tonight because our first baby was due Sunday and is now officially late, but had the common courtesy to stick around in the belly long enough for me to come and sample some whiskey. So as soon as this is over, I'm back to baby watch.
Coolest kid ever.
Already winning brownie points.
Yeah.
Well, so now that we know that, because you're getting ready to experience the whole world of like what it's like to stay up at, 2, 3, 4, 5 a.m. So you got to have a snack ready. What's it going to be?
Well, during the quarantine and my wife's pregnancy, we've been eating a lot of like sweets, but the real go-to lately has been different variations of kettle cooked potato chips. So barbecue, like a mesquite barbecue is our latest fad in the house. So I almost ate a bunch of them before I got on the show, but I didn't want to destroy my palate with processed barbecue flavor.
Much appreciated, but they are solid.
Yeah, I was like, when we actually go do barrel picks a lot, it's always funny. We try to figure out, well, where can we go that is, pretty much universal. Like anybody can get something to eat there. And we always end up going to a barbecue joint pretty much like an hour before every single barrel pick that we do. But
yeah, we show up nice and bloated.
At least we haven't had like any spicy sauce that's kind of like really ruined anybody's palate yet. So can't say no to that.
Yep.
All right, Anthony, you're up next, bud.
Anthony from Omaha, Nebraska. Grew up out in San Diego for 20 years and moved back here after I got done with school. Got into bourbon. My wife actually got me into bourbon, so that's also a good thing. So when there's a lot of bottles around the house, not too many complaints. We're actually expecting in about 2 months. So where Jordan is now, I'll be up next. But go-to snack probably is about the easiest thing that you can grab from the pantry. But caramel and cheese popcorn from Costco is always really good.
That's pretty good. Are you a sucker for those things that always come out at Christmas time? It's like the huge tins. And it's got like the 3 different sections.
The tins are hit and miss, so try and stay away from those.
Oh, okay. So you're a tin connoisseur then.
He's a Kirkland diehard.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about because you go to Costco, and that's at least when they were doing samples, they always had that big bag of popcorn sampler pack. Like that was always a go-to.
I know it's like since COVID hit, you don't get any samples at Costco, and I'm like, I'm gonna drop my membership now.
There's a lot of starting people because of that.
Yeah, my kids being one of them. Those are like lunch.
All right, Lucas, you're up next.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. Been fortunate enough to go through this process once with Ryan.
Yeah, that's right. I remember. Yeah,
from Martin, which was awesome. So thank you guys again for another opportunity. I'd say my favorite snack. I don't know. It's a ramen type noodle called yakisoba. I'd say it's up there if I have a microwave around me in 90 seconds. So
that's not the thing that they made fun of in the league, right?
I don't know. I mean, funny enough, a trainer of mine used to have me eat them after a workout because of the carb ratio in them. And this was probably 10 years ago. Nobody heard of them, and now they're in every pretty much grocery store in either Oriental aisle or where the ramen is.
Yeah, there's like a ramen style snack in an episode of The League where
Yobagoya,
like the theme song, and it goes horribly, horribly wrong. So I'll have to look that up after this.
Yeah,
it was Yobagoya.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
And it was meat products.
Oh, okay, that's what.
Yeah, this has got no meat in it, so fortunately, I'm good on that one.
All right.
Well, good thing we got somebody that's an encyclopedia of the league down here, man. You just did that one off the bat.
Cheetah Bowl.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was an awesome show. I remember watching it all the time. Ryan, before we go further, what's your favorite go-to snack? You got one?
Man, I roll through like Jif peanut butter. Like get the Costco double pack, and like I probably go through like 2 of those a month. Like
just like spoonfuls of peanut butter?
Yeah, just spoonfuls of peanut butter, like 2 tablespoons a night. It's like
you trying to bulk up?
Yeah, my gut, I guess. I don't know. I just love it. It's like it's not in that in the Boom Chicka Pop or Boom Chicka Boom. It's like comes in a purple bag. It's the kettle corn one. That stuff's like crack. I can like murder that stuff, but yeah.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, I got
depends on how many gummies I've had. What snack I want. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, here we go with the drug jokes already.
Yeah.
So if anybody cares, I'm kind of with Anthony. I'm also a Costco person. That's my go-to snack. However, I'm a big fan of the Terra the vegetable chips, those Terra vegetable chips.
Oh, yeah, those are good.
I feel like it's healthier because it's vegetable chips, but I know it's not. Like it's
because it's a fried parsnip versus fried potato.
Exactly. So you're like, oh yeah, I'm totally being more healthy with this one, but I know it's not it.
They are good. That's a good call.
All right, cool. Well, so let's go ahead and let's start pouring samples. So I'll as long as you guys know, so I've got 3 glasses here in front of me, three whiskey samples. I'll kind of also hold them to the camera so people can see. So the first one that we're going to pour is BH. This is probably hard to see with the camera. There we go. BH 10, 115.5 proof. So you all got 2-ounce samples that were sent to you. Actually, everybody has 2-ounce samples because, as we see, what it came out of here equals to what came in with 200 mLs per barrel here.
No Elijah Craig sample bottles for everybody.
No, not this time, man. I'll tell you what, those were a pain to kind of put together. So I'm kind of glad it worked out like this because I've got tons of the 2-ounce sample bottles now, which is kind of crazy because if anybody has looked across any of the interwebs, man, those 2-ounce sample bottles, as soon as COVID hit, like wiped out like everywhere. Like you couldn't find them anywhere.
Yeah, I actually bought a bunch of them right before the quarantine happened because I want to start sharing some good bourbon with a local bartender, and they've just been gathering dust on the shelf now for like 4 months.
There you go. Well, now hopefully you get some of these, and then you can start sharing them out. Then give you a reason to do that.
So have we looked in the comments to make sure that Joe Beatrice is not like hanging out, scoping out the place?
Hey, he could be sly. He might be on here. Yeah, they know about it. They already tweeted about it and reposted it on IG. So hey, shout out to Joe if he's watching this, as well as Trip and Nick and everybody else at the team over there. They're awesome people.
Keep sending checks. We love you.
And then for anybody that doesn't know, we've actually got a podcast coming out soon with Trip. It's going to be on July 23rd. And it was a really cool podcast we did. It was deep dive on distillation with a master distiller. So we kind of went all in on really getting bourbon geeky with them. So it's really cool. All right, so I'm going to pour the next sample. It's BH39, and as you can see, once this focuses, 110.34 in proof. So just to make sure I keep these kind of in order, I'm just going in numerical order, so that way I can't screw it up too bad. And then lastly is BH45. And this is 116.46.
It's amazing how light these are.
Yeah, they're really light.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, yeah, the 2-ounce bottles are so dark that I thought they were actually much darker than they are.
Fooled you. That's what I was going for. Yep. Ryan Lentz asked, is it 18-year-old Kentucky distillate. It's Kentucky whiskey. This is going into a second used barrel, if I'm not mistaken. Is it Heaven Hill? I don't know. I can't recall. I know Ryan, we're in the sourcing game as well. I can't remember exactly what the root of these all were.
I do, but should I say it or no?
I don't know. What do y'all think? Can we let it roll?
Yeah.
All right. Maybe wait. We'll save it to the end.
Okay.
Well, you gotta give a reason for some people to hold on here.
That's true.
That or let's dangle the carrot.
Well, this is never mind.
Let's dangle the carrot a little more. We'll only tell our Patreon supporters. So if you want to know, go to Patreon.
Here.
Yeah. So there we go. All right. So one thing I don't have with me, I forgot to get a pen and paper. So I'm going to grab that real quick so I can just make notes. Give me 1 second.
Hey, Ryan, is this majority 18 year? It's not all 18 year, right?
No, I think it's all 18.
Oh, it's not a blend.
On the website, it says that it's
a blend, right?
It's the largest proportion is 18 year.
Oh, okay.
It's a blend of micro blend of Kentucky whiskeys, the largest portion of which is an 18-year-old bourbon. At least that's my understanding.
Yeah.
I gotta get my facts straight.
So I mean, I'd be surprised if any 18-year-old bourbon, looking that.
Well, the thing is, it's not a bourbon because I don't think it was. It's Kentucky whiskey that was just put into old bourbon cask. So so it's technically not a bourbon because it wasn't put in a new charred oak barrel.
So none of it was aged in a new charred barrel?
Correct.
Okay.
So that's why it's probably lighter in color too, because a lot of that char was probably extracted the first time go around instead of the second one.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. So spoiler alert, do not go to Barrell's website because they already have the finishes listed for each of these barrels on there.
Yeah, I think a couple of us prematurely did that.
All right. I saw it and I was like, oh, I'm not
But
going to read.
in all honesty, I don't remember which one's associated with which barrel. I know the 3 different barrels, but I don't know which number.
Yeah, I learned it at one point, but I don't remember anymore. So thank God for my crappy memory.
Yeah. I do know that I believe that we are one of the first people to be selecting from this new round of series because they had the AH series and then we're selecting from the BH series. I don't know what that means, but I just know that we have the second round. All right, Ryan, what kind of notes you picking up here? Or anybody else?
A little bit of like honeysuckle. It's really faint. There's not like a strong, I don't know, nothing too like really strong, just maybe some honeysuckle, little pear on there.
I could see that.
You got a little cinnamon too. Oh.
Yeah, a little muted cinnamon.
Well, the taste is way different than the smell, though.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh wow,
Almost like an apple juice.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like Mott's apple juice or whatever,
Mm-hmm. Oops.
or like Huber's cider.
Yeah, it tastes like cider.
Yeah,
Dang, I did not expect it to taste like this.
No, I didn't either. I was like the nose. Yeah, you kind of. Yeah, I agree. This was a kind of a little bit of a curveball there. Oh, there we go. He's in.
Yep.
Be nice what you say now. Hey, Joe, how's it going?
I'm glad I got it out of the way. Yeah, when you nose it, you're like, oh, this is gonna be kind of light, you know. And then when you hit your palate, it's just like an explosion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this was pretty awesome. I didn't expect this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, just apple cider all day, yeah.
I get a wave of that apple flavor, and then just like this long lingering base of kind of like I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like a slightly bitter spiciness.
Yeah, like the mulling spices or something. You know,
Yeah.
like at the bottom of a cider batch.
I thought it was maybe just the first sip, but even now after the second one, it's still sitting there, good 30, 45 seconds on.
Yeah.
It's almost like an unsweetened apple pie or something.
Yeah,
McDonald's apple pie.
because I don't find it very sweet. Except
No, I
for
don't either.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not overly sweet. There's almost a little bit of bitterness to it. The finish keeps going a little bit.
Just like sits like on your front and mid palate.
Mm-hmm. So, I hope this is a compliment. You guys are great to listen to. This should hopefully, we're trying to keep this lively and exciting for a barrel selection.
I would say they're asking if it's sweet or like juice or cider. I'd say more like a cider, like a spicy cider with like some peppers or something at the end.
Yeah, kind of like a dry, spicy cider.
Yeah, exactly. And it's got some like kind of like earthy tones on the finish, like that sit there.
Man, you really got your palate dialed in tonight, man.
It also does taste a little bit to me like it's got kind of a. I could be wrong about this, but because I haven't tasted anything like this in quite a while, but I don't know if some of that earthiness is coming from like a younger whiskey that's kind of blended into this, or something that hasn't taken on a lot of char or age from a barrel.
Yeah, it's like it reminds me of like a wine that you can taste like the soil it comes from almost. It kind of tastes like you can taste the dirt where the apples came from or something on the end. But that's totally wrong because I know it's not apple cider. So.
I was like, I've never tasted dirt when I've eaten apples before. So
well,
I've
not
got
dirt.
nothing.
That's a bad description. You know what I mean? You can. Maybe you don't know what I mean. I don't know.
I gotta give you shit. That's what I say. I was like, I've never tasted dirt when I'm eating into a Red Delicious or something.
Yeah, I'm a little terrified of where Ryan gets his produce.
Fresh from the field.
You realize, Ryan, you're supposed to put the compost in the heap and leave it there. You're not supposed to like pick it out after.
I don't let it break down. I just it doesn't
like a
taste
side
like
dish.
dirt. Now
Yeah.
I'm like I went down the wrong path. I should have just left it with. But it's really good. I like it.
It's good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's Trip. What's going on, Trip?
Trip.
Just telling everybody we got your podcast coming out here next month. You're going to
Yep.
school a lot of people.
Trip's the man. So is Joe. They're both awesome.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I think that was a solid start. All right,
Yeah,
I'm going to
that
get a drink
was
of
really
water because I have a feeling these are all going to be just like crazy different or something. All right. Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit different than doing like what we did last night with Elijah Craig because just bourbon, and just like subtle differences. Like these are going to be completely different.
Yeah.
So do you want to guess what kind of barrel is finishing? Or you want to wait?
Apple cider barrel.
Fair
That's
enough.
what I was going to say.
Fair
I was
enough.
like, you could guess in one hand and shit in the other and see which one gets filled up first.
An Applejack barrel.
That's what some people think, like maybe a brandy or something like that. So
Yeah, I could see brandy with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it would explain the first taste that hits your tongue.
All right, I'm gonna move on to BH39 now.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of got a
Big change.
like rum funk to it or something.
Ooh,
The palate on it's pretty wild. I don't think I've ever tasted anything like this.
I like the nose on this one better than the first one.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. The nose is better.
Yeah.
It's more pronounced.
yeah. The first one was thin. This is kind of funky.
Yeah. Yeah, it reminds me of
Tastes a little
rum
funky, but
nose.
it's not bad. It's good.
Holy shit, you're great. This palate is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
It's got like apricot or something at the end of it. I don't know what type of fruit. I get like
Oh,
I don't know how to describe it. The texture of fuzziness on a peach or apricot peel is what I'm tasting. That doesn't make sense, but
Oh, that's killer. That's good.
Dude,
he's right.
that changes like 10 times as it goes
Yeah.
down your tongue. It's like that's insane.
I feel like
I
I
got, like-
moved through a whole wave of like tropical fruit.
Right.
I get like a huge like plum note on it as well.
that's it. May be plum now. I'm thinking too.
If this thing isn't finishing like an Armagnac or a rum barrel, I'd be amazed.
Yeah, that's what reminds me of the Yak barrel.
What's going on, Nick? We were giving your praises a little bit earlier. Nick's going to be on the podcast as well in our next series of recordings, so you all can look forward to seeing her.
Creator of the best whiskey sour ever, besides mine. But except I can't do the flogger on live TV.
Not on live TV. That's
I
a
can do
lot
it
of
every
pressure.
other time.
Man, this is wild.
Yeah.
It's got a long finish to it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
It's like it changes. Like it's crazy how much it changes just on the palate.
Like plum, like cotton candy.
Yeah.
There's so much going on there. That's already
like
my
you-
front runner.
It's like you take like, a whole thing of nerds and just like throw them in every different flavor and like all of them go off at once.
Well, and because it's not like a really heavily oaked, whiskey, it's gentle enough that you can kind of move through those different flavors and feel
Right.
them. Yeah, without being
Yeah.
overwhelmed.
Is this one significantly lighter color than the other two. I have it in a slightly different glass, so I don't know if it's just my glass or not.
Yeah, I would say it looks lighter in
A
mine.
little bit.
A little bit. The lighting's real shit in my office here.
Mine's terrible too.
Maybe a couple notches on the color wheel.
Yeah. And by office, I mean soon to be nursery.
Yeah. You're in no room pretty soon.
Yeah.
You know what the great thing about this barrel selection is that I could probably like mix up all my glasses and I wouldn't have to worry about like, oh, is this one like this barrel sample or not? They're completely different.
Yeah.
Now, from last night, if you mixed up 1 and 3, do you think you'd be able to figure it out?
Yeah, I think so.
If you blinded us, yeah, maybe.
3,
I'm not
even
gonna.
afterwards, I was like, it's so easy to drink. Like there was no like finish or spice on it all, whereas 1 had a ton of spice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good news if we pick 2, because Ryan said it tastes like nerds. I'm sure there's plenty of dorky pictures out there with thick rim glasses that can go on a sticker.
Just pull one from Kenny, VMware days. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That wasn't nice.
I will say though, nerds are my favorite candy. It's top of my list. Does anybody remember? I remember what happened. Remember they used to have like nerds ropes. Remember those?
Oh yeah.
I don't know what happened to
Like
those.
licorice in the middle, or like a
Choking hazard.
red candy in the middle.
Yeah, there's something like that. I'll tell you what. You always thought it was a good idea to have the nerds at Sonic when you have their slushes. Don't do it because unless you have like teeth that are made of iron, like those are jaw crushers, man.
The worst slushy experience I've ever had was at a 7-Eleven back before I went back to school, and I was living with my cousin, and we got this was cans of Four Loko back when it was still alcoholic.
Right.
We banned it, and we went to 7-Eleven on like a Friday night. We got giant Slurpees and cans of like alcoholic like fruit punch Four Loko, mixed them together, and then sat down and watched like It's Always Sunny, and I'm pretty sure I hallucinated the entire night. It was the worst night of sleep I've ever had in my life. I just hot sweats, like being chased by rainbow dragons. Like it was intense.
I think everyone's got a Four Loko story.
I'll tell you what. I wish I would have had some of that before when it was the original stuff. Until they had to change it because of I don't know whatever kind of chemicals or crap they had to take out of it.
I think they cut the alcohol in half or something.
I think they cut a lot of things out
And
of
the
it.
PCP.
Maybe.
Went down.
Pat says they fermented nerds before. Interesting.
Yeah, I know. That's what Pat had said that they fermented nerds. We'll have to talk to him about that when we go and
Pick that barrel.
Yeah, let's pick that barrel. Let us know what nerds barrel you got.
The nerds barrel.
We're
Hey, Pat Heiss, when we come, I want to pick a rum barrel too. So if you're listening still.
Yeah, he's in. He's in. All right, I'm going to taste this one more time before moving on because this is it's too crazy.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's already the front runner.
Yeah, that's something. That's special, right there. It's the only way to describe it.
Yeah.
All right. Palate clean with water. Moving on to BH45, number 3 now.
Looks like Anthony and Kenny kind of have the same bar shelves back there.
I don't think I have quite as much there, but I do have a bunker over there underneath the basement stairs that has a couple hundred bottles, maybe.
There you go.
There you go.
We'll come on over. Raid your stash.
Yeah.
Open up some bottles. Cost you some money. Like I do Kenny.
Every time it comes over, plan on losing a couple $100.
Yeah, I usually do that for the neighbors whenever they come over and open a few bottles, and haven't been able to do that lately.
Yeah, you can tell how much I like my friends based on how good of the whiskey is. Come over.
Or how much you know they'll enjoy it, or turn around and just do Fireball after.
Yeah.
Right.
my brother and sister-in-law drove all the way up from Florida so that they could be here to help us when the baby comes. And I couldn't make it to dinner with them tonight, but I sent along a bottle of Weller 12 as like, this is the only currency I have to say thank you to any human being anymore.
All right, what kind of flavors you picking up on number 3 here?
It's hard after number 2.
This is like this is closer to like a bourbon profile probably, but
Yeah.
a lot more dried fruits. It's like got a lot of, I don't know, like raisin bran, bread pudding kind of type flavors in it.
Mm-hmm.
A little sweetness. It's really good, actually.
Yeah, it definitely has more of a bourbon flavor profile to it.
So we got the option to pick 2 tonight, right?
I think we can pressure them. I think they'll let us take 2.
I like this one.
Since this is a blend, are they releasing multiple bottles of each? I'm assuming they have to, right? Multiple different releases of each barrel, if you will.
So it is, when they say micro blends, I believe it's going into a single barrel or multiple barrel finishes, but that's it. You're not getting, I think, any more than what you get out of the barrel when they put it in. So probably 200 something bottles, maybe one. Actually, it's barrel proof, so maybe close to 180.
So they only have, for instance, like the middle one, BH39. If we were to pick that one, that one's gone for anybody else to pick.
You got it, man.
All right.
Yep. One and done.
Claim it. Checkbox.
Claim it.
So the nose on this third one isn't as pronounced as 2. Like it's very, it strikes me as very sweet, but not sort of an undifferentiated sweetness. It's not like the fruit spectrum like number 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like dessert, like rich desserts.
Yeah.
Like bread pudding, cobbler kind of brown sugary kind of flavors.
Yeah, I get the brown sugary, almost like a caramelized creme brulee a little bit.
Yeah. But like a lot of dried fruit taste in there.
I get oak with this one too.
So
Yeah.
I genuinely don't remember or recall, but I get kind of this one reminds me of like a high proof rum a little bit.
I can see that with the kind of caramelized sugar.
Yeah, the straight sweetness that derives from like sugar rather than like associated with like fruit.
Good.
Man.
It's dry finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's 3 really good. That's tough.
I know, they're really onto
good
something
ones.
with this private release series, weren't they?
I know.
I mean, this was. I'm super excited to be able to do one of these. So this is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Joe and Trip and Nick, they always deliver.
I know. Innovating.
I don't know if I'm just bad at smelling things, but it strikes me, with the exception of 2, which is kind of funky. The noses on these are very light, very faint.
No, yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
2 is even kind of, I mean, you get something, but it's not like that pronounced.
And the flavor smack you in the face too, though.
I know. It's like you can't smell anything, and then you taste it, and it's like, holy cow.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like so unexpected.
yeah. Number 2, I mean, your mouth doesn't know what to think.
Yeah.
I mean, that's wild.
It is. It's like an ADHD whiskey. It's like going all over. It's like hitting everything. Do.
Like that. What's that movie or show, Limitless? Where
Right. Yeah.
their pupils. I mean, their whole eyes just zone in.
Well, I think, man, this might be one of the easiest ones so far. I think we're all pretty much in agreement that number 2 is a clear favorite here.
Yeah.
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 Now
One and
what
3
we
are
do
really
is
good, but 2 is like just special.
just to make sure that we appease everybody, because I have a feeling number 2 is going to go bonkers. Like, this thing's going to sell out in no time. So let's go ahead and get a second one, and we'll choose between 1 and 3. I think that's probably the fun stuff here.
All right.
Always the answer. Get another barrel.
Put 2 away.
I love it. I feel like Kenny's the trustee that gets to spend all my bourbon money for me. It's great.
Kind of like your bourbon financial advisor, if you will.
Yeah. Well, since I moved to control state and can't get access to anything, you're basically my.
So you're saving money.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Except for the Bourbon Pursuit single barrels are like my one outlet for getting things that are unique in the state.
I agree with you, Jordan. North Carolina, not any better than Virginia.
One of the only saving graces for Nebraska is we can get it shipped from almost anywhere.
You do have one of the coolest speakeasies also.
Which one's that?
Wicked Rabbit.
Oh, yeah.
That place is awesome.
Yeah.
That's one state I've never been, Nebraska.
I had a work trip there and I was dreading it until I walked next door to my hotel into a liquor store, walked out with a bottle, and somebody said that I was just in the most interesting place in Omaha. And I kind of gave them a funky look, and they said, go ask for the Wicked Rabbit. And they point you to a bottle. It's a single cashier, old school cash register, pointed me to a bottle of wine that said Wicked Rabbit on it. And I'm just kind of looking at it with my hand around it. He's like, you got to push it. He knew I had no clue what to do. You push it, and it opens up into this whole velvet, dim lit speakeasy with crazy cocktails. It was awesome.
There you go.
Right on.
That's a great icebreaker for futures. Your favorite speakeasy.
Yeah.
I like it. It's a good question. I'll go ahead and I'll make sure I take a note of that one. So we're gonna bring all kinds of new icebreakers for every podcast. This one coming up.
I tell you what's not my favorite speakeasy. No, I'm kidding. There's one in Asheville. I can't remember the name of it. That pissed me
please
off.
don't bash anybody on air.
So when I passed the bar when we were living in Colorado, my wife took me to was it Colorado Springs, some town, and she'd be upset. I can't remember. I think it's Colorado Springs. And we did a tour like the 291 distillery. Well, someone was like, "Oh, you absolutely have to go to the speakeasy." So we went. We found it. You enter through what looks like a hat store, and you have to ring the bell, and they open the door and have a dashery and bring you back. We get inside. We're so pumped. We get seated at the bar. We look around. We're like, "This is a gin speakeasy. The only thing they serve is gin, and we both absolutely hate gin." I ordered,
do your Yelp
gin
research.
old-fashioned, got 2 sips in, and we just left the bar.
Kenny loves gin.
Oh, Jim's becoming I don't drink it straight. Like I just do it in a cocktail here and there. It's been pretty good during the summer months, but yeah, I mean,
you make a good gimlet.
yeah, the gimlets are fun, man. It's easy. I mean, it's super easy. It's literally gin, lime juice, simple syrup. Like you can't screw it up. Man,
Gin does make some pretty cool cocktails.
Yeah.
Plus, there's a lot of people that are doing barrel aged gin now, so
Yeah.
you're like, okay, I guess it means that works well for a bourbon lover too. So, all right, I'm going back to number 1 here and see if we still get apple juice on this.
Yeah, I just had a sip of number 2 and finished it. It's so good.
Yeah,
It is.
it's hard to do the other 2 after you've done number 2.
I know.
2's so special.
I'm just going to go back and forth between 1 and 3 and see which one I like more.
1, I still get the apple cider, but I still get it seems a lot more. It's got more depth to it now after going through these. It doesn't taste like as appley.
Let's wait for that to come out. I knew that was coming.
You knew appley was coming?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know you too well. We're almost like a married couple.
I know. Probably see you more than my wife.
I know I definitely talk to you more than my wife,
And
at least this week.
And y'all work in the same house.
I know, we're 2 floors away from each other.
I feel like now that I've been drinking a bunch and my mouth's been coated, I don't get the same bitter, kind of earthy base. It doesn't hang around for quite as long.
Yeah.
I think number 3 has a better nose on it.
Yeah, 1 is no nose. It's non-existent.
One definitely tastes like, to me, it tastes like a bourbon that's finished in some type of
Brandy
supplement.
barrel.
Yeah. 3 tastes like a bourbon to me.
3 is like
Three is much more familiar.
yeah.
But do we want familiar?
It's good though. Three's good.
Very good.
3 is so like rich.
Yeah.
It's like, which I'm liking. But 1's unique as well. But 3 is like, it's like a really rich bourbon with something a little bit extra there.
Yeah.
So it's like a deep, rich brown sugar sweetness that's like extra than with the normal bourbon.
Yeah, I agree. You get some of those familiar notes that pretty much we're all used to in number 3.
It's
Number
like
2
when
after.
you get
Sorry, go ahead.
it's like you take a bourbon and then you drizzle like Starbucks like syrup or something in it, like that they make lattes with or something.
The Starbucks caramel syrup that they pour and everything.
Yeah, like a macchiato, caramel macchiato stuff. I don't know.
I wish I was a coffee drinker. Or is that even considered coffee?
That's not, no.
Considered sugar overload.
Yeah, that's a milkshake dessert.
That's what say.
Especially when you get like 4 inches of whipped cream on top of it.
Let's say like I get Starbucks gift cards like through random like work events and stuff like that. They're like $5 things, whatever it is. And I'm like, oh, like I've got a stack of like 5 of them, and I just give them to my wife because I was like, well, I don't drink coffee, so there's no way I'm gonna use these. I might go get a pastry, but that's about it.
Go get some breakfast sandwiches. Yeah, those are good.
So
Or a cake pop. They got good cake pops.
Good and expensive.
Yeah,
I try not to judge when I'm standing in Starbucks waiting for my coffee, and like just somebody walks up and they get their like caramel mocha frappuccino with whipped cream, and then they walk away, and then they come back and be like, "Can I get extra whipped cream or like extra whipped cream or extra caramel on this?" And I'm just like, oh, enjoy that now because diabetes is gonna be a bitch in about.
Got the sugars.
Yep.
You ain't gonna be asking for that when you lose a leg.
There's like 90 grams of sugar per serving on those.
Yeah.
The cereal, Chris Haynes asked, which cereal does number 3 resemble? It's like there's that variety of Raisin Bran. It's like, what is it, the honey Raisin Bran or something? It's like Raisin Bran, but a lot sweeter.
I could see that. See the brand part for sure. It's definitely not Fruit Loops like number 2 or even close to something like that.
No.
Oh, I think that's spot on.
Yeah, that's number 1 would be Apple Jacks. Yes.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
If you left it out in the sun a little too long.
Right.
Number 3 almost has like a
You leave
French
cereal out in the sun?
toast type deal too.
I don't think I've ever left cereal out in the sun.
Well, I don't know what weird stuff Ryan does with his cereals.
I don't think I've ever ate cereal in the sun.
Apparently, Ryan's mom put honey on his Raisin Bran and told him they actually sell it that way.
No, there's like I'm trying to think of it. There's
Just dump
different
raisins
variety
and
of-
Frosted Flakes.
there's like a elevated Raisin Bran.
I'll tell you what, I just learned a new
Did-
icebreaker we should go
did it-
use. It's like, what was your go-to breakfast as a kid? And what's your
Raisin
go-to?
Bran Crunch. Raisin Bran Crunch. It has the honey clusters in it. That's
Yeah.
what it was.
Oh, there
It's
you
got
go.
those little, little sweet bombs in there.
Sweet.
All right, let me see if I get Apple Jacks on this one. Number 1
Or
again.
sunlight. See if you taste sunlight.
I'd say a little bit of Applejack, maybe a little Applejack milk on it.
I love cereal milk. That's the best.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure people are really loving this cereal and milk talk.
They know you for your cereal, man. There you go. Peter says elevated Raisin Bran.
I did say that, didn't I?
Hashtag.
I don't even know what I say sometimes. Just comes out.
So somebody in the comments was asking if there's any marzipan in any of these, which I know is a running joke, but can somebody please explain to me what marzipan actually is? Because
Don't know.
every time Fred tries to explain it, I just don't know.
Still don't know.
Well, okay, we do
No, it's
know.
like the almond cream, whatever. The almond paste.
So shout out to Michael Urato.
Yeah, Michael.
Another Patreon supporter. He actually, when this joke originally started, he sent us a few samples, and there was also a mystery box inside there, and it was literally a bar of marzipan. And it was kind of like, okay, well, the mystery's over. So hacked off a little slice, tried it. Yeah, I mean, it tastes. It's just almonds. It's just like an almond paste, is all it really is. So
Yeah.
It's
You
sweet.
get them a lot in the Dick barrels, like the really good ones. But that's usually it. So what are y'all thinking?
I think I made up my mind.
yeah. Don't spell it out yet, because I think save your reservations here, and we'll do a tally here at the end.
Last night they were all like 94 proof. These are like 115. I'm starting to little hit a little.
I think I can hear my wife outside the door.
You're gonna start dancing for us, man.
Right. Getting
Your water
sweating,
ready. You need to
sweating a little
sober
bit.
up.
Sorry, Jordan, what were you saying?
Oh, I think I can hear my wife outside the door with a pitcher of water, like ready to sober me up. So
He's gonna splash it on you.
like I will never like. I've got to sober up before the baby comes, because I cannot spend the next 50 years of my life never living down the time that my wife and I Ubered to the hospital. So part of whiskey tasting the night she went into labor.
Pair that with a hangover the next day. I don't know how much you'd be liking yourself.
Yeah.
Where's the dad? He's asleep on the couch.
It's too bad of a headache to deal with you.
Yeah, Jordan, listen, like labor, it's a long process. You should just take time for yourself, take a nap. If you need to just like
Go
I
get a
left.
bite to eat.
Yeah, really. Like the epidural, everything, like you don't need to be here for that. Just go ahead, leave for a few hours, come back. Hopefully there's some progress.
And that's why Kenny hasn't talked to his wife in a week.
Yeah. So just in case my wife is watching this, should be clear. I plan to be fully involved in the process and have a long time to do. She's great.
Disclaimer.
We're in it as a team. It's gonna be fun.
Well, during like the peak of COVID, you couldn't even. I don't think the husbands could go back there. Like,
Yeah.
Still
So
can't. Sorry.
no,
Out here, we just had a neighbor that had one in April, right in the midst of things, and it was only one person could go in. They couldn't go in or out. And even in September, when we're expecting, it's still just one person. So it actually makes it a little better. You can't have anyone else come in. You don't have to worry about trying to avoid anyone. It's just you and your wife.
An excuse for why the in-laws can't come.
Exactly.
And to be clear, I meant my parents, not hers. Her parents are great.
Good save.
No, but once we get in the hospital, I can't leave. Like I can go down to the curb to like pick up DoorDash, but I cannot leave the hospital or I won't be allowed back in. And my cousin who is I had a baby about 3 weeks ago and was kind of always like a month ahead of us in this process. While he was at the hospital, he was so afraid of getting kicked out if he left the wing. The poor guy never went to get food, so he just ate granola bars for 2 days while sleeping in the hospital room. And overheard another mother in the wing getting very, very upset because her husband had just absentmindedly left to go check something in the car, and they would not let him back in the hospital.
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah.
But he got out of all the shit work that goes along with it. So
Yeah.
there's a balance here.
Yeah, but the length of time you're going to hear about that, I don't know.
It's true.
Oh, yeah. It's like the rest of your life.
I mean, I still catch it. So, true story. So, when my wife was in labor, they they were putting the epidural, and they were like, "Hey, this is going to be a little bit, go out and grab something to eat." So I went down the street and went to Panera. Took my laptop with me. I was there for like an hour and a half, and this was. I thought it'd be really cool to actually set up a Facebook page for my newborn daughter, so we could essentially timeline her life through Facebook. And so I set up a Facebook page, got everything done, and blah, blah, blah. Like an hour and a half, 2 hours later, I come back. My wife was like, "Where the fuck have you been?" So
when they were like, "You can go get something to eat," they're like, "Go get something quick from
not for 2 hours.
Go get a sandwich from the Wheel of Death.
Yes, she hasn't let that one die off. And even worse is that Facebook actually took down the Facebook page for my daughter, at age 2.5 or 3. So it was actually cool to actually tag her and everything, and everybody when you have your whole life that was chronologically there on Facebook. But
why did they make you take it down? I mean, did you have to create a fan page or something?
Well, no, I mean it's terms of service. You can't have a Facebook account if you're under, I think, 13 or 14, something like that. So
really?
Somehow they caught on to it. All the AI caught on to it. But
my wife made the mistake of introducing me recently to the song "You" by A Great Big World, which it's a song about him bringing home his son. But the music video is the story of him meeting his wife and then bringing home his son. And Anthony, is this going to be your first kid?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe you're stronger than I am, but I watched that video the other day and started listening to the song, and there's this baby needs to come because I'm an emotional wreck. I was like, I'm not crying, you're crying.
All right. We're getting close to the end here. Everybody got their favorite between 1 and 3?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right. So 2 is the standout. That's a no-brainer. So that's a check plus. Pending we can get a second barrel, which I think we will be able to. Let's go ahead in a way that we can make this as interesting as possible. I'll just go ahead and raise your hand for which one you want. So number 1, BH10. If that was your favorite, raise your hand. All right. So that means BH45. There we go.
Another unanimous.
All right. So now that we know which barrels we selected, let me go ahead and pull up actually it's on the website. Let me just pull up on the website. Super easy. So BH10, which we didn't select, is a blend of Kentucky whiskeys, the largest component being an 18-year-old Kentucky whiskey finished in a ruby port barrel. That was BH10.
Port barrel. Interesting.
Yep. All right, so we'll go number 3, BH45. That was our runner-up here. So this is a blend of Kentucky whiskeys, the largest component being an 18-year-old Kentucky whiskey finished in a rum. When I say rum, RHUM, agricole cask.
Okay.
I don't know what that is.
I had to Google it earlier. I didn't know. So it's rum made from sugarcane juice, and the RHUM apparently means it's made in a French region of the Caribbean. Yeah. And it's made from sugarcane juice rather than molasses.
Yeah, it's more tannic than kind of the brown sugar buttery rum you get from Barbados or something.
If you all want to do Rum Pursuit, we can probably license it for you if you all want to do that.
Sure, just let me stay one Wikipedia page ahead of whatever.
You're going to have a lot of free time on your hands too.
All right, and BH39, our ultimate favorite that we really love, is a blend of Kentucky whiskeys, the largest component being an 18-year-old Kentucky whiskey, finished in an apricot brandy barrel.
Interesting.
Yes. I kind of want to go back to it.
Apricot, Lucas?
I'm going back to it. Just because it was so good.
Yeah,
I still get, Kenny, since you said it, I still get plum more than apricot, though. Originally, I got apricot, but when you said plum, I immediately went to plum instead.
Kenny has that effect on people.
Very convincing. I should sell cars in the spare time.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go. That was, like I said, that was probably one of the most unique barrel selections that we've ever done in
Yeah.
regards of the actual whiskey itself.
Yeah, I was impressed. All three of them. It's been like 2 great nights. Great picks.
I know, and thanks to everybody that's actually been tuning in. I mean, last night you tuned in for Elijah Craig, tonight for Barrel. Tomorrow night, Ryan and I were back again with a whole new crew doing a larceny barrel pick.
Jesus.
So-
And I'm playing golf tomorrow, so I should be in great shape. Playing Valhalla.
Are you really?
Yeah,
All right, well, hit them straight.
probably won't.
It makes it all, just bring the stories then. That's all we care about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, hang on here 1 second. We're just going to do our kind of sign off. But I just want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in live. If you're wanting to know where do you get these products, how do you get some of these barrel selections, these are, and how do you get a chance to even be here on the panel as a person actually choosing a barrel with us? It's all through Patreon, patreon.com/bourbon pursuit. So I want to say a shout out to thank you to all of our supporters. This is the fun part of what we're able to do. And we're actually selecting, I did a count. We're at 21 barrels already this year that we're going to do for 2020. And
That's crazy.
and new stuff is rolling in every single day. So we're going to keep doing more barrels. Who knows? If we hit 30 barrels this year, it might get crazy. It might get a little crazy.
I'm gonna have to make another room.
We're all running out of space really quickly.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nick saying BH39 was her favorite. I mean, it was bonkers. That's for sure.
Crazy
That's
good.
for sure. Douglas is asking how long will this take to get bottled. I would just expect 3 months lag time as usual.
We'll just go down there tomorrow and tell Joe and
Yeah.
and I'll learn to do it.
What are y'all waiting for?
We'll pop in, be like, bottle this thing.
Yeah, I thought we were like number one priority. Now, like I said, I just anticipate 3 months is usual lag time on any barrel release, unless it's COVID and you did a barrel pick before COVID, and then you realize like 6 months later you still don't have your Four Roses barrels. So those will eventually come as well. But make sure you go check it out, patreon.com/bourbon pursuit. There is a whole list of all the barrel selections that we're doing. And again, thank you to all of our supporters, because not only get to do this, but you also make the podcast happen. That's the best part of it too. So
Absolutely.
and Pursuit Series.
And Pursuit
Thanks, man.
Series. Yep.
A lot of good stuff going on there. So cheers, y'all. Thank you again. And come back again tomorrow night. We're selecting a barrel of larceny. Until then, Cecil out.
See you later. Toodles.